Hey guys, it's Ashley with 3R Sales and Service. Today we're taking a look at the Raven skid assembly. This particular package is available on our website, and this customer that's getting this one added quite a few modifications to it. So we'll go over what this skid includes generally, and then what the add-ons were that the customer had included. So this package comes with a 3,000 psi, 5.5 gallon a minute pressure washer, and a 100 psi, 7 gallon per minute, 12 volt soft wash system. So up front, you can see the pressure washer. It has the Honda GX390 engine. Now typically this comes with a pull start, like a recoil engine, and he upgraded to the electric start, so it's very easy to access, and of course just easier in general to use. It has a belt-driven RW series Comet pump. We use these pumps on so many of our systems and have held up really well. The quick connect nozzles we add right down here so they're easily accessible. We have our two Titan hose reels up top. This is our pressure washer reel, and this is our soft wash reel. So we have 200 feet of the pressure washer hose, and then we've got 200 feet of the soft wash hose. The customer did add the quick connect ball valve assembly on here, so it's easy to switch between your accessories like a surface cleaner. And then we've got the locking connections on both the hose reels here, so you don't have to worry about your hoses coming loose and then trailing behind your truck or trailer, however you're having this mounted. The soft wash system is just off to the side here. We'll kind of move around this way. So all components are very easy to access either from the rear of the truck or if you're kind of reaching in from over the side of the truck. And again, this is going into a truck assembly or a pickup truck, but it can go into a van, it can go on a trailer, lots of different applications. We have the charger right here and the plug right down at the bottom. You can just plug this in whenever you're ready to go ahead and charge that. We have our metering system on this soft wash. So it meters your water, your surfactant, and your bleach. And you have your metering valves right here to control all of that. The really nice thing about this is on this bleach metering valve, this is assuming that you're using 12.5% bleach. So all of these numbers on here tell you exactly what percentage of bleach you are drawing based on having your water valve open all the way and then using that 12.5%. So if you have 50% water and you have your bleach valve all the way open, so you're pulling 50% bleach, and you're pulling it right at about 6%, which is the number 6 shown right on here, and then you just adjust it as needed. The surfactant is just kind of a little bit of a, numbers are used for reference. They don't necessarily mean any type of percentages on there. So surfactant is always real low here whenever you're applying it because you don't want to add too much and it take forever to rinse. We have our Remco 100 psi 7 gallon per minute pump here. We got the accumulator at the bottom. That just helps us regulate that flow, puts a little less stress on those pumps. And then it's all mounted onto an aluminum plate. The other thing you'll see right here, this is our inlet line. So you'll take your garden hose and just connect it right to this garden hose fitting here. That feeds the water right in through the filter. One of the upgrades he did add was a scale troll filter, which gets all of the minerals out of the water. So if you have a high calcium or iron content and your tanks are turning that orangish color from all the iron, this will take all of that out. It'll keep your tanks from turning orange, but it'll keep all of that stuff from building up inside your pump as well. So kind of a nice thing to add on if you have particularly hard water in your area. The other things that you can see from this side, we have a dipstick assembly on the soft wash system. So what this dipstick does is it's connected to your bleach valve. So whenever you want to add bleach, you're going to drop it right down into your bleach tank, which is this tank right here. Whenever you're ready to rinse, you just drop it right down into your water tank. The reason why we use this dipstick assembly is so that you can also use your soft wash as a transfer pump. You can take your 55 gallon drum of bleach that you have out here, drop this right down in, and then use your wand assembly to fill your bleach tank. So it kind of makes your system a dual purpose system. If we don't use the dipstick, we can switch it over to a flush valve if you didn't need that transfer pump use. So just kind of a couple different ways we can set it up. We've got a shirts box that works for the downstream soap injection, another option that was added. So he can remotely turn on and off his pressure washer soap injection. So he can use all those low pressure nozzles to do his rinsing, or he can press this button and uses low pressure nozzles to apply soap. Down at the bottom we have our 7-gallon surfactant tank. We have a 55-gallon bleach tank, and then we've got our 55-gallon water tank. And then back here is another 100-gallon water tank. The customer wanted to have a little bit more of a water reserve. So we have 155 gallons total. These two tanks will be connected together when we install it in their truck when he comes by, giving him, like I said, just a lot more water capacity if he runs into a low water situation. A lot of times when there's a high mineral content or high iron content, those are areas where there's a lot of wells, and if you've used water off of wells before, you know that sometimes you have good water supply and then you don't, or you just don't have any good water supply at all from the start. So kind of helps protect his system a little bit more. We'll just keep moving around this side. All of our tanks are held in place with the fabricated aluminum bands that we use. We've got 2 hoses, actually 3 hoses, coming right on top of this water tank. So this is our inlet line, and there's a float valve underneath of it. So when you have your garden hose connected, it's going through that filter and then it's dropping down into this tank, and then the float valve will control the water level in your tank. It'll shut off the water once the tank's full, and then it'll allow it to continue supplying the tank once the water level drops again. This hose here is actually connected to our shirts box, which is on the opposite side. That's the remote for the pressure washer soap injection. So whenever you hit that button, not only is it switching over to water, but it's actually rinsing out your chemical injector too. So it's going to extend the life of your chemical injector when you do that. And then this hose here is our cool bypass on the pressure washer. Cool bypass is whenever the pressure washer is on. So when you pull the trigger, the water goes out of your wand. When you let off of the trigger while the engine's still running, it goes into cool bypass mode, and usually circulates all that water back at the pump. Well, we extend this hose so that it can go to the tank and recirculate the water that's in the tank through the pump head, keeping it nice and cool and protected. We've got our 3/4 inch tank drain here. Just drops down. You control it right with this valve at the end, so you can use it either to drain your tank, to wash your hands, to fill a bucket, anything that you need while you're on site. It's nice to have that handy. And then the only other things I hadn't mentioned before was with the pressure washers, we're always putting bleeder valves on those. That gives you the option to prime that pump, get any air out of that water line. That way you have easy startups and you're not going to have to worry about burning up any seals when there's no water getting to your pump. So that just kind of primes your pump for startup. You only have to do that whenever your tank runs empty, or whenever you're just starting it up without having run it for a little while. The soap injection allows you to pull from the bleach tank, but it also, we have this little valve here that allows you to pull soap from another source. If you need to pull a degreaser instead of bleach or any other type of soap through your pressure washer system, this is just an extra dip tube that you can pull through that allows you to give you more options as far as pulling soap through there, so you're not limited to just what's on these tanks. So otherwise, it's a pretty deluxe system for what he has going on this 4x4 skid. Fits perfectly into a full-size truck bed, and anything, I guess, that's more than 48 inches wide. But if you guys have any questions on this particular system, feel free to take a look at the website. We'll have at least our standard package on there. There will be this video available to see all of the upgrades that we can do on them, or you can give us a call if there's something different that you're interested in as well. Thank you.